It's going to be Villani.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to YMCA Cricket Club. We're here today for the second of 3 T20 internationals between Ireland and Australia. Match 1 on Wednesday evening was an absolute cracker, with the Australian ladies coming out just on top by a mere 25 runs. It's a glorious evening in Dublin this evening. The sun is splitting the sky. The outfield looks tremendous. We've a super wicket and we're all set for a fantastic game. Today the toss was won by Meg Lanning, the Australian captain, and she has elected to bat. Play will commence in about 3 minutes' time. I'm delighted to be joined in the commentary box this evening by Richard Holdsworth, Performance Director, Cricket Ireland. Richard, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Heatley, and good afternoon, everybody out there. And hopefully, as you say, there's a few Australians back home who have stayed up and will be watching this glorious evening that we have here in Dublin.
Well, it is a glorious evening, and let's hope we can get as good a game as we got on Wednesday, Richard, because that was a cracker.
It certainly was, and I think, from an Irish perspective, we were very pleased, with our girls' performance. They really played very well. I think put the Australian batsmen under pressure. Some very, very good fielding, some great athleticism, some tight bowling, and I think we'd have settled with 140 to chase to start with, and it was always going to be difficult for us with their bowling attack to chase that, but to get within 25 runs is certainly a competitive performance from the girls, so they'll be looking to impress more today. Try and eradicate a few mistakes that they may have made. Obviously, they've seen a bit more of the Australian batters now and bowlers, and they can take that into today's game. So, really looking forward to it.
And I know from talking to Meg Lanning, the Australian captain, today, Richard, that the Aussies got a fright. They weren't expecting what came at them.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure that's the case, Heatley. They've just had some really tough matches in England against ECB, against the England team. There's a huge intensity of those games. They're televised games. They've had very good crowds playing, and I suspect they're playing number 10 in the world. Let's face it, and I think they would have certainly had a bit of a shock how well we played, how we went about the game, and let's hope that puts a few more nerves towards them today.
Yeah, I hope so. Now, we're just about to kick off. We're about 2 minutes from kick-off here today. The umpires today are, the third umpire is Clive Colleran, and the two standing umpires today are Martin Block and Kevin Gallagher, two vastly experienced umpires in Ireland. The opening bowler for Ireland, Kim Garth. Kim, who played exceptionally well on Wednesday evening, and she will open the bowling from the Sandymount Road end. The opening batsmen for Australia are Jess Cameron, and Jess will be joined by Elise Villani, who batted, I thought, exceptionally well the other evening, Richard.
She certainly did, and our women would have seen her in the World T20 in Bangladesh last March. She's a phenomenal player, hits the ball hard, and hopefully if we bowled to our plans today and had a good chance to have a look at her on Wednesday, hopefully we'll get it right today. But look, she's some performer, and obviously she'll be looking to get a good score again today.
Yeah, she certainly is. I was enormously impressed with her cutting, her pulling. And I think, given the evening that we have and the drying conditions that we've had, Richard, the pitch will play exceptionally well, I hope. Here we go. It's the first ball. Kim Garth, right arm over the wicket and it's a wide ball to start with. Perhaps a few nerves there. Kim just looking at the umpire with a degree of disbelief, but I think, Kim, I hate to tell you, it was wide.
It certainly looks as though going down the leg side, and we know so. in this format of the cricket, you can't get away with that.
Yeah, for sure.
No, they would have looked at Villani and said, look, we can't give her width today, either down the leg side or particularly offside, so that she's going to have to be really tight with her line today.
Yeah. Garth comes to the wicket. Good stride, right arm over the wicket. Better length. It's a push through gully down. Fielded by Louise McCarthy. One change in the Irish side, Richard. Louise McCarthy in, and Elena Tice is 12th today.
Absolutely.
So we've, I suppose, a seamer in for a spinner.
Indeed, yeah. I think they've looked at the pitch conditions, worked out the tide times today, which I believe always can play a part in this part of Dublin 4, and the Australians may not be aware of that. But look, we've gone for the extra seamer today, so we'll see how that works.
Garth in bowls. Another very fine piece of fielding by the Irish captain. It was one of the striking features, I thought, of Ireland's fielding the other evening. I thought they fielded exceptionally well, right from the off. Yeah,
absolutely. I think there's a lot more intensity about the way they play the game these days, and they worked very hard over the last year or so. Certainly Aaron Hamilton, our new head coach, has worked very hard on their fielding, and that's that's where you get the pressure from. The bowlers get pressure. And that was an unlucky one as well, that just played half a shot there and lobbed up in the air, but not close enough for mid-off or mid-on to get round to, and they just take a single there.
Mid-off, mid-on, Gabby Lewis and Lucy O'Reilly, both young ladies, both played very prominent roles the other evening. Gabby will be delighted to get in the game so quickly. A good shy at the stumps, a direct hit, and Garth back in over the wicket. Well bowled, just pushed to mid-on. Lewis gathers the ball very cleanly. Looks at the ball. Good start this from Kim Garth.
Yeah, she's certainly got her line together and probably got a few nerves out the way again. And you mentioned the younger players. I think they did play a fantastic part on Wednesday, and certainly they seem to be very much at home. They're obviously playing on a ground they know extremely well, but you can't underestimate the age that they are, and they're playing against the world champions. They've done a great job. Another straight ball there and just guided down towards third man. Good throw coming in and just a single again. And I think it's key, Heatley, these early overs, the power play, it's important that we bowl a really tight line, put the pressure on, try and let them take some risks, but not give them any width. And this has certainly been a decent start.
Absolutely. Garth approaches the wicket. Another good delivery. Very good start this by Kim Garth, well backed up by Lucy O'Reilly.
Yeah, it's good. A good start. A loose first ball down the leg side, but other than that, she's been pretty much on the money. Yeah. Some good fielding. I think I'd say we're working very hard on the fielding. They have been all season, but just those little fumbles that it's so important to get the ball in the hand and get the throw in quickly. That's been something that's really changed the way they've gone about things. We know what a difference it can make in 2020. You can save 20, 30 runs in the field, which is so often the way and the difference between winning and losing. So that's going to be important that we keep those standards up today.
Absolutely. You mentioned the youthfulness of the Irish ladies, Richard, and I suppose with your Cricket Ireland hat on, that must encourage you greatly to see so many, I suppose, youngsters, because that's what they are.
It does, yeah, and I think it's a good show of the club system, particularly around the Leinster area, that the women's game is in good health, particularly at youth level.
And opening the bowling now from the Wes Earl end, it's Laura Delaney. And Laura's first delivery just hit over mid-wicket for 4 runs. Laura, another of the stars of the Irish side last Wednesday evening. She plays her cricket out of the very famous Leinster Club, which is located in the suburb of Rathmines. Her second ball there, good ball, just tying Villani up. Good start, as Richard has mentioned here, by the Irish.
Yeah, I think there's certainly a bit of a gap in age profile of the side. We've got some older players who are in their late 20s who've got a lot of caps. A lot of them have played over 100 games for Ireland, and given the amount of fixtures we have, another tight ball there and no run scored. We've got a lot of young players who've come into the side now, only in their sort of mid-teens and already played quite a few games. So that does bode well for the future. One hopes that they'll keep involved in the game and will hopefully play for at least the next 10, 15 years. But we've got to keep bringing those young girls through, and that's going to be the key over the next couple of years.
That's a super shot there from Villani. Laura Delaney's line just straying down the leg side there, and Villani clips her over mid-wicket for 4 runs. Very competent and confident start on the part of Elise Villani, who certainly looked a class act the other evening.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think it's the margin of error for the bowlers here is that much smaller. The county championships that have been played in, you can sometimes get away with that fuller ball on leg stump, but to world-class players such as Elise, you're not going to get away with that. Straighter delivery there and tightened her up a little bit. Good fielding again from Isabel Joyce there.
Delaney bowling from the Wessex end, and I must compliment Mary Waldron, the Irish keeper. There wasn't a bye in Wednesday evening's game.
Yeah, no, she was really hot behind the stumps, wasn't she? Really
she was
good,
terrific.
Standing up a lot of the time, which is a strength of hers. That's a fine shot, fuller length ball and driven straight over mid-off, down to the boundary for 4 runs. Just a little bit too full, that ball.
An expensive over there. And Villani showing all her class there, really. A straight drive down the ground.
Yeah, we mentioned those younger players. Heatley, I think one of the strengths of our new Super 3s competition that we started this year is that we've got a number of young players into that structure who are now starting to push for places in the senior team, and one hopes that by the time the likes of the Joyces and Shillingtons and Waldrons retire, there's a good number of players who've come through, had some experience, perhaps a little bit of mentoring from some of those older players, and that we keep a young, fit, and very energetic side. That's up in the air.
Here's a real chance, and it's taken. So that's the first wicket of the day to fall in the first ball of the 3rd over. Australia losing their first wicket. The score is now 16 for 1.
Great ball that. It was just a little bit more back of a length and got her on the front foot driving. Probably wasn't there to drive and just held up, and good catch there at mid off it. So that's a great start for us.
Super. Well, it's no more than Kim Garth deserves. She bowled an exceptionally good first over. She had a great game the other evening. She's bowled a good line, a good length, and she gets her reward.
Absolutely.
And it's the 3rd catch in the series by Gabby Lewis. Gabby is the daughter of a very well-known Irish cricketer, Alan Lewis, former Irish captain, former rugby international referee, and he sits on the board of Cricket Ireland as well, Richard.
He certainly does, Heatley, and look, he's our main cricket man on the board. Huge amount of knowledge and experience in the game, and he's also our chairman of selectors for the men's game. So he's been tasked with the other selectors and John Bracewell of selecting a team to play Australia in the men's format next week. But yeah, look, Gabby and her sister Robin as well, both had very good seasons this year, and Gabby's broken into the side and done very, very well.
Here comes Garth, right arm over the wicket. And it's
Another
a super
great
catch.
Superb catch.
What a superb catch.
Lucy O'Reilly at point. Yeah,
absolutely tremendous.
Full ball, first ball, and cut it pretty much off the front foot there. Drove it straight through, and a great catch. She almost looked as though she caught it just behind herself, diving to the right. But
well,
that's
Lucy won't mind me saying this. She's not the tallest of the
tallest
Irish fielders, so she was at full stretch there.
Yeah,
an absolutely tremendous catch, and well bowled Kim Garth.
Yeah, so great start.
It's what a tremendous start that is. The incoming batsman for Australia is the Australian captain and a player of absolute quality. I talk of none other than Meg Lanning. She makes her way to the wicket, asks umpire Gallagher for her guard. Kim Garth walks back to the mark. No doubt she'll have a real step in her stride this time. She's on a hat-trick delivery. Plenty of chirp from the Irish fielders now. They are certainly buoyed up. 16 for 2. We're in the third over. Garth to the wicket, right arm over to Lanning. Just pushed out into the covers.
A very cautious defensive shot there, and again another straight, good length ball. It's a great spell this by Kim Garth, and let's hope we can keep Lanning quiet for a few overs and keep this pressure on.
Garth in the sunshine runs into bowl, releases the ball. Another good full length ball, pushed out to mid wicket, fielded by the captain Isabel Joyce.
Well, they'll certainly have a bit of confidence behind them now with those first 2 wickets, and Kim putting a bit more confidence in the rest of the bowlers. Say, look, this is how you do it: bowl straight, and it makes it a lot easier.
She's got the sun on her back and she's striding in. It's another good delivery. Just pushed backward of point there. O'Reilly gathers the ball, throws it into Waldron. Just the single. The Australians move on to 17 for 2. We're in the third over. For those of you joining us on this, our live stream broadcast, you're exceptionally welcome. It's great to have you. And can I say a very special hello to our Australian friends who no doubt are watching us in glorious numbers. Garth to the wicket. Another very good delivery to Healy. Healy tries to late cutter without any success. The ball straight through to Waldron. Wonderful over that on the part of Garth. 2 wickets and just 1 run coming off the over. She'll be absolutely thrilled with that. I was just thinking the other evening, Richard, as I looked at the Australian wicketkeeper with the name Healy on her back, and I thought to myself, now there's a coincidence.
Indeed. Yeah. No, she's some cricketer, and there's a brother in the family as well who likewise is an exceptional player. So it's certainly in the blood in that family.
It sure is. I think he will go down as one of the great wicketkeepers in the last 50 years.
Yeah, and certainly in the modern game, wicketkeeper batters. Crikey, certainly Ashes series and many others. He fought very hard with the bat and got Australia out of a fix on many occasions.
Yeah. Change of bowling now from the Weser end. Kira Metcalf. Kira opened the bowling the other evening. It's just pushed down the ground.
Interesting how the great leg spinners often bowl a full toss first ball. She did on Wednesday night.
Absolutely.
Shane Warne, mere mortal, but he regularly warmed up with a full toss first ball. Certainly was a bit better after that, but
good delivery there from Metcalf. Good length, good work by Waldron. Healy just leaves it through to the keeper. Talking about Healy, I was watching one of these Sky master classes the other day, Richard, and he gave a master class obviously on the art of wicketkeeping, and it was just fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
It's just, you're just looking at a master craftsman.
Absolutely.
It was wonderful. Metcalf to the wicket, pushed down the ground down to mid-on. It's just the single. A good confident start this by Metcalf. Good to see Kieran Metcalf back in the side again. She's worked very hard and she's been one of the real successes of the Super 3 series, Richard.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, she started taking the game a lot more seriously this season and spoke to the coach and talked about how she wanted to get back in the side. She's worked very hard at her fitness. She's worked hard at her game. That one's just a little bit wider and it's cut through the third man area.
It's gone for 4. It's probably the quickest stretch of the outfield, Richard, that where that was cut to sort of just backward of point. It really runs down towards the netting area here in YMCA.
I think that's the other thing about Wednesday is 140 with such a fast outfield. You know, it's you could easily add another 20 runs onto a lot of other outfields for that score, if not more.
Metcalf well bowled, exceptionally well bowled.
Another dot there, and no, she has worked very hard at her game, and probably a few surprises around the cricketing community with her selection. But no, she's come in, worked hard, been very consistent with her bowling. Another leg spinner, particularly if you think we're going to Thailand for the World T20 qualifier in November, and hopefully if we can do well there, qualify for India next March, having another leg spinner up our sleeve is really quite important. And no, she's done exceptionally well. She bowled very well on Wednesday night, and she started well there. 4 dots in that over is really important in this format.
She sure did. Garth continues her excellent spell. And starting where she left off with the dot. Well bowled, Kim Garth. Bowling exceptionally well here. For those of you joining us, we are playing the second of 3 T20 internationals between Ireland and Australia. We're playing it in the home of the YMCA Cricket Club on Dublin's south side. For those of you who know the area, there's a glorious shot.
Yeah,
that really is.
That was a great shot.
It's a high quality shot, just piercing the field there. Glorious cover drive.
A little bit more width that time, and great timing.
Just piercing Delaney and Lewis there.
Catch.
That's a super catch. Another super catch. And well done. Kim Garth picks up her 3rd wicket of the evening.
What a night she's having.
I'll tell you.
Again, a little bit full of that ball. It was a bit more leg side, but she got her coming forward. She got her driving. It was just on the up a little bit, and another cracking catch there. Fielding really has been certainly the catching fantastic tonight. So that's another big wicket there. 27 for 3 now.
That's a colossal wicket. It has been, I've seen quite a bit of the Irish ladies this year, Richard, and if I were to say what aspect of their game I think has improved the most, I would definitely say their catching.
Yeah.
Even above their ground fielding.
Yeah.
And again, we saw that the other evening. That wasn't an easy catch. It was hit.
It was hit hard.
Isabel Joyce, the Irish captain, got right behind it. No fumbles, clean as you like, and utter delight for Kim Garth, and well done to you, Kim. Bowling tremendously well. The new batsman for Australia is Jess Cameron, another very experienced cricketer, right-handed bat, takes her guard from umpire Gallagher, and here comes Garth. It's a good start, a dot ball. Good length by her. Certainly the Irish couldn't have wished for a better start, Richard.
No, I mean it's been great pressure. I think you mentioned the fielding there. I think the fielding's been really tight. We've done well in the ground, but we've taken our catches. We dropped a catch the other night, and it's so important in this format. You can't afford to make mistakes like that. And look, we put them under pressure, and that helps the bowlers no end. Yorker ball there, much fuller length, tightens her up there, and again another dot. And I think this format, we know that you bowl plenty of dot balls, and batters will have to take risks, and as soon as they take risks, you've got half a chance. So just got to keep stringing these together.
And you talk about the just that dropped catch the other evening, I reckon that probably cost Ireland a dozen, maybe 15 runs.
Absolutely.
You take them off, there was only 10 runs in it.
That's right. That
shows how important it is to take your catches. Garth to the wicket. An exceptionally well cut, just a little short. Sat up, and if there's one thing these Australian ladies have proved, it's their ability to cut and indeed to pull a cricket ball. Beautiful shot there by Jess Cameron. Short of a length, and she just up on her toes, got right on top of it and crashed it to the boundary. So the Australians move on to 31 runs for the loss of 3 wickets, all 3 wickets for Kim Garth. We're just about to bowl the 6th over. It's Ciara Metcalfe bowling her 2nd over. Ciara comes into bowl from the Weser end. It's pushed down the ground. It's just the single.
It's going to be an important period now to having got those 3 wickets and that breakthrough early on to make sure the Australian batsmen don't get in too well and start building a partnership. We've got to keep making sure we keep them under pressure. A bit short of that one and a single down to long off there.
I think one of the striking features of the Irish bowling stroke fielding on Wednesday evening, Richard, is if you looked at overs, say 11 to 17, I was going to say the lack of boundaries, and as I say that, the Australians hit another boundary, but it's so important if you can restrict the boundaries and just keep exerting pressure time and time again.
Yeah.
And that's what we did so well in the sort of latter part of the Australian innings on Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we did do, and I think a bit unlucky there. It's a bit wide of that, but genuine nick there, and just beat Isabel there at backward point.
Lovely shot down to long off there, well fielded, good throw. Cameron back on strike. Metcalfe electing to come round the wicket to her, seeing if she can tie her up a little here. Approaches the wicket, well bowled. Good length, dot ball. Dot balls are so crucial in this format of the game. They really do exert pressure. Ireland have got to look to continuously apply pressure, and they can do so by bowling dot balls.
That's good fielding.
That's good cricket. So that's the end of Ciara Metcalfe's 2nd over.
I think the thing was well, Heatley, with having a spinner on, and it'll be interesting to see what choice Isabel Joyce makes. I think Lucy O'Reilly's coming on now. I think the girls get through their overs pretty quickly, and when you've got a spinner on and Ciara Metcalfe doesn't have a long run up at all, she tends to get through her overs pretty quickly.
It was one of the real striking features of both innings. I couldn't get over how quickly they got through their overs.
Absolutely.
It was fantastic.
But as those overs are ticking away, suddenly you realise, crikey, there's 6 gone already, and are we where we want to be? So just keeping that pressure on and keep those overs ticking through is going to be important. Don't want to give them too much time to think about things. Lucy bowled extremely well the other night again, and was tight. So let's hope she can continue that form tonight.
You're right. She bowled beautifully the other evening, and actually her final figures didn't quite do her justice.
Oh, that last over went for a few, didn't it?
It did, yeah. But I thought she bowled exceptionally well. She ran in at pace. She hit the deck. Again, this is a ground she knows exceptionally well. She's played all her cricket here. And there's a great start from O'Reilly. What a wonderful start from Lucy O'Reilly.
Fantastic. She drew her forward. It was a good straight delivery just outside off stump. Nicked it. Kept fairly low there as well. And a very good catch behind by Mary Waldron. Keep taking that fairly low down. But that's another cracking wicket there. Great start from Lucy, and that'll give her again a great deal of confidence. She looked pretty pumped up there at the end of her run up for that first ball. But that's a really great wicket.
It's a superb wicket, yeah. And again, you know, she really attacked the stumps there. It was one of the striking features of her bowling the other evening. And as you mentioned, a really fine catch on the part of Mary Waldron. It was low down, it wasn't easy. She made it look easy. Well done, Mary. Well bowled, Lucy. That'll give her great confidence. And no doubt Daddy O'Reilly will be absolutely delighted with that as well. I'm sure many of our viewers will be aware that Lucy's father, Peter O'Reilly, former opening bowler for Ireland and indeed for Warwickshire, a really wonderful cricketer back in the early 80s. O'Reilly, right arm over the wicket, comes in to bowl. It's just the single. The new batsman for Australia is Elise Perry, another vastly experienced cricketer and a lady who I was enormously impressed with the other evening, Richard. Another superb athlete, I thought.
Yeah, she certainly is. I mean, both with the bat and the ball, and you know, I think our women there were certainly, you know, they faced Elise before in Bangladesh, but you know, she bowled with some great pace the other night. A couple of bounces that they're not quite used to. Another great straight ball there from Lucy. Wraps Perry on the pads. Big appeal not given by umpire Gallagher, and no run scored. So another dot ball there. She's really pumped up, very excited out there. Just needs to keep her head and keep bowling those straight balls, and it'll come. But no, Elise is, look, she's some athlete, and certainly bowled with a great deal of pace the other night.
Great start from O'Reilly. I was just saying, Lucy is a member of the YMCA Cricket Club, as I am. I've seen Lucy since she was a very young girl, and she knows every blade of this ground. So her playing here as a 3 and 4 year old, like her little sister Katie does now. Another very promising young cricketer, I think. But Lucy loves to bowl from the Sandymount Road end. In she comes, right arm over the wicket. It's a good delivery, just pushed down the ground. Laura Delaney in, gathers the ball. Well backed up by Kieran Metcalf.
With the power play gone now, Healy as well. We managed to, you know, we got a couple out there. Certainly one along off there, one on the sweep, out at cover, and so that's just again allowed us to perhaps, if we can keep that line and keep to those bowling plans, we've got a bit of cover on those boundaries, which is important.
It's another really good delivery from O'Reilly. Good line, good length, dot ball. That's
great start, fantastic over for her.
Terrific start. Again, for those of you joining us, you're very welcome. We're delighted to have you view us this evening. We're in the YMCA Cricket Club on what can only be described as a glorious August evening. It's a Friday evening. It's free entry. You're going to see the finest of ladies cricket, so make your way down. We've got all sorts of refreshments for you. Teas, coffees, soft drinks, a barbecue, whatever it is you want in the way of eating or drinking, we have it for you tonight. So make your way down. You're assured a wonderful game of cricket. 7 overs gone now. Australia won the toss, elected to bat, and are 40 for the loss of 4 wickets. Kim Garth has taken a 3-for, and Lucy O'Reilly in her first over bagged a wicket. Change of bowling now from the Wes Earl end. It's the Irish captain, Isabel Joyce. Many of our viewers will be only too aware, Richard, of the Joyce name in Irish cricket.
Certainly, it runs in the family there. Isabel's sister Cecilia, who's played a huge number of games for Ireland, is in the side tonight. And of course, brother Ed, captain of Sussex and a prominent Irish player who will be turning out next week against Australia. And his brother Dom also played for Ireland. So no, there's certainly an extremely strong family.
Yeah, great family, and a little bit short, pulled away. Good work. Oh, good work and a super throw on the part of Gabby Lewis there. Excellent work.
Yeah, Isabel just sticking with spin, and I think wanting to slow it down a bit and make sure at that end that we're bowling it fairly slowly, and hopefully she can keep to her plans and keep this score tied down.
I did Kim Garth a disservice there. I called her Gabby Lewis. Apologies, Kim. Well fielded on your part out in the deep mid-wicket boundary, turning what looked like a 4 into just 2 runs. Good work on her part. Isabel Joyce, the Irish captain, coming into bowl. Richard has mentioned she's part of the Joyce dynasty, a great cricketing family who hail from Wicklow, which is the neighbouring county to Dublin. Just a single off that delivery.
And Isabel bowling left arm spin. Of course, you might remember she bowled seam for many years, and only up until about 2 or 3 years ago did she sort of revert to bowling slow left arm. But she's had a lot of success with it.
She certainly has, marshalling her troops very well tonight. And I see Mary Waldron there, just keeping an eye on her field, doing a very good job, keeping all the fielders on their toes. Plenty of chirp from the Irish ladies.
Yeah, they certainly seem to be a bit more confident tonight, I think, having got through that game on Wednesday night and played so competitively.
It's well bowled by Joyce, hit down the ground to long off, just the one. Well, I was just thinking, Richard, having had that game on Wednesday evening under their belts, I think the Irish ladies, I won't say have nothing to fear, but they'll have a bounce in their step. They'll have a degree of confidence. They'll have seen that they can compete against the very best in the world.
Absolutely.
And compete exceptionally well.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And, I think the world's expectation would be that, we wouldn't be expected to beat Australia. They're a phenomenal side, very, very strong, great depth, world champions. Just got England under the pump in the Ashes at the moment, and therefore you can argue that they didn't have pressure on. But, after Wednesday night's performance, they will believe that they can beat Australia. Lucy O'Reilly again, just wrapped on the pads there. I think she got a little touch to it, and there's just one run out to a gap at mid-wicket.
Yep.
But no, certainly they will believe that that they can beat Australia, and they came away from Wednesday night with a huge amount of confidence in how they performed, and to have Australia 46 for 4 now, they've got to keep going hard and make sure we keep them to a reasonable total. And
great credit for that self-belief must go to the new Irish ladies coach Aaron Hamilton, and indeed Rob O'Connor here this evening as well. So well done to both of them.
Yeah, look, they've been working really hard, the girls and the coaches with them. They've been training, 2 days a week, and one-to-one sessions and small group sessions at various times. Just cut to point there, and no run again. As you say, well fielded again. But it's it's huge commitment from the girls. They train very hard. They work very hard. Practices are very purposeful. They're working on specific areas all the time, and it's shown. It's shown in their performances.
O'Reilly to the wicket. It looks as though that will be 4 runs. Just straying down the leg side.
Yeah, and always the difficulty with the keeper stood up, that just a little nick down the leg side there, very hard for the keeper to get across to. And with fine leg up on the single, there's a big gap there, and unfortunately that's gone through for 4.
Well bowled by O'Reilly. Looking at the Irish skipper there in her familiar point position, similar to that of the Irish men's team and their captain, William Porterfield. He prowls that point area with
Indeed.
absolute authority.
Absolutely.
One of the world's great fielders, William Porterfield. O'Reilly to the wicket. Bowles. Good length. Well fielded by Lewis. Delaney doing a good job there, backing up, but it wasn't required. And so that's the end of another over. Australia now move on to 52 runs for the loss of 4 wickets. Kim Garth has picked up 3 wickets this evening in this, the second of 3 T20 internationals between Ireland and Australia. The other wicket taker was Lucy O'Reilly with her first delivery of the evening. Caught Waldron. Looks as though we're going to have a change of bowling from the Wes Earl end. Isabel Joyce just speaking to, I think it's Laura Delaney. Joyce just taking her time and setting her field. It's a crucial stage at this stage. We're just at the halfway stage, just 9 overs gone. Australia 52 runs for the loss of 4 wickets.
Yeah, I think Isabel's staying on there. I think there's just a bit of field changing and a bit of a plan to the batters here.
I have to say, Cameron has looked in good nick since she came in. Hasn't been scared to use her feet. She surveys the field. Laura Delaney about to start her second spell here. Right arm over the wicket, approaches the wicket.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a plan for her here. There's obviously quite a bit of discussion going on with Isabel about the field there, and they've obviously worked out a bit of a plan here. So let's hope she can bowl to that plan and keep the pressure on. Been noticeable certainly on Wednesday night how Isabel rotated the bowling throughout and didn't allow the Australians to really get too comfortable with the same 2 bowlers bowling the spell. She rotated it regularly. Always difficult for the bowlers when they're coming on and bowling, 1 or 2 over spells. But that's the nature of this format these days. And again, not allowing them to get too used to any one bowler.
Yeah. Perry the bat, Delaney the bowler. She approaches the wicket, clips it through mid-wicket. Should just be the single, is just the single. Good fielding on the part of the Irish. Certainly the Irish ladies have started as they finished last Wednesday evening. Their bowling and fielding has been of a very high standard. Delaney comes in. It's just hit down to long off there. It should just be the single, is just the single. Gathered nicely, returned to the bowler. Good over this from Delaney. Delaney playing her cricket out of the Leinster Cricket Club. Very fine all-round cricketer. Batted number 3 the other evening, did very well. She comes in a little short. However, it's just the single.
And it's sticking to those plans and those lines. There's cover out there in the form of a sweeper and a long off there. If she can keep to bowling one side of the wicket and keep it full, then we can hopefully keep those boundaries down.
Yeah, Shauna Kavanagh out there parading. As I mentioned her, the ball goes straight to her. Very good fielder, Shauna, with a very good arm. And that completes good the 10th over. Richard, I thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Not at all. And let's hope it goes. 10 overs gone, and if we can keep them at under 6 and over, 7 and over at the most for the next 10, I think we'll be very happy chasing a target of maybe 120 or less. So let's hope the pressure can go on. And thanks for having us.
Thanks, Richard, very much. Look forward to seeing you later in the evening. 10 overs gone now, and Australia are 57 for 4. And from the Sandymount Road end, it's Louise McCarthy. Louise didn't play on Wednesday evening, has been a very strong part of this Ireland ladies side for a couple of years now. Fine seam bowler. Louise, like many, comes from a great cricketing family. Her brother Barry McCarthy plays with the Pembroke Cricket Club and also playing with Durham County Cricket Club at present. She approaches the wicket. Her first delivery, well taken by Mary Waldron, the Irish keeper. It's a dot, and delighted to be joined by Kevin O'Brien.
Cheers, Heatley.
How are you, Kev?
I'm very well, actually.
What a glorious evening.
Yeah, and a great start from the Irish women. So Kim Gart especially taking
superb.
her form from Wednesday's into today's game and getting the rewards of 3 wickets. So excellent start from the Irish bowlers.
She was terrific. McCarthy approaches the wicket, right arm over the wicket. It's a good length, it's a good shot. It should just be a single. They look for 2, they don't get 2. It's very good work. Fine work on the part of Cecilia Joyce there. So as Kevin has alluded to there, a really good start this by the Irish ladies. They'll be buoyed up by their excellent start the other evening. Louise McCarthy in, just loses her run up. Umpire Gallagher signals to the scorers this evening. 2 very experienced scorers. Judy Cohen from the Railway Union Club is joined by Helen Caird from the Phoenix Cricket Club. Good to have you both, ladies. McCarthy in bowls. And that's a good shot. It's an excellent shot. Unfortunately, it just beats Cecilia Joyce there. Just saying this, Elise Perry looks a quality act, Kevin.
Yeah, super player. You know, I think she's number 1 in the world, and we're seeing the reasons why. It's a lovely back foot punch there, beating the despairing dive of Cecilia Joyce. But again, this is a crucial period, like the game on Wednesday. If Ireland can restrict the boundaries, and maybe pick up a wicket or 2, Ireland can restrict Australia to a modest total.
Good dot ball, well fielded by Gabby Lewis. It's been a good start by Louise McCarthy. She's back in the side. She was 12th man for the first of the 3 internationals last Wednesday evening. Approaching the wicket, Mary Waldron standing up to the stumps. She bowls, little wide. It's just the single. One Joyce backs another Joyce there.
Yeah, of course, 2 of them in the team today. But it's a important period, as I said. If Ireland can stick to their plans they have in the first 10 overs, and copy the plans of Wednesday, they can restrict Australia to maybe 110, 120. So getting 4 wickets in the first 7 overs is key in a 2020 game.
That is a cracking delivery from McCarthy. Full and straight. She'll be absolutely delighted by that. Kevin just talking about the importance of taking wickets, and as he does so, Ireland take their 5th wicket in the 11th over.
Yeah, Cameron there looking to give herself a bit of room and back away towards leg stump, and not sure if Louise McCarthy saw her back away, but fired in the Yorker on off stump, and the batter missed it and hit the pole. So it's a good reward for Louise McCarthy on her comeback game, and puts Ireland in a great position now after, I think it's 11 overs now. So
yeah. You enjoyed Wednesday evening's game, Kevin?
Yeah, it was a great game. I think Ireland fought excellently in the field and bowled with very good plans. Started off well with the bat, in my view. Just lost their way a little bit. Lost their way a little bit in the period of 6 to maybe 11 overs, where I think, if you were to look at the stats, I think Ireland may have lost 3 or 4 wickets for 15 runs, and that kind of set them back a bit. But some of the young guns did well. Gabby Lewis batted very well. To kind of to recover the situation, and ultimately in the end got very close. To fall 15 or 20 runs short, it's a great achievement.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the one thing Isabel Joyce seems to do very well, Kevin. She rotates her bowlers very well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just gives the batter, doesn't give them a chance to get lined up against one bowler, especially if you've got so much spin in a side, which Ireland do, it's important to get it on as early as you can.
And here comes Metcalf. Just stroked for one. Well fielded. Return to Metcalf. Metcalf making a return to the Irish side. Had played a considerable amount of Irish cricket and had been out of the side for a number of years, and I suppose courtesy of the Women's Super 3 series, where she's done really well, has forced her way back into the side.
Yeah, she looks a very competent bowler. Simple enough action. She comes in again and looks like she wants to spin the ball all the time, which is the key component of a spin bowler. You know, I think a lot of bowlers these days playing in limited overs cricket as a spin bowler, they just look to bowl straight and at the stumps, and you know, I think it's key if you can spin it and spin it big, you know, you're going to put the batters under pressure.
The new batsman for Australia is Alex Blackwell. Elise Perry still at the wicket.
I think Perry's the key wicket now for the Irish
absolutely.
side. If they can get Perry within the next couple of overs, you know, it's going to put panic in the Australia team.
Well, it's funny, I was talking to the Australian captain, Kevin, just after the toss today, and you know, she really was surprised by the quality of this Irish side. You know, they come here as world champions. They're in the middle of an Ashes series themselves.
Well feel.
Ashes series,
Mm.
and they've come over to Ireland playing a 3-match series, and I'm not quite sure what they were expecting, but they certainly got a game on Wednesday evening, and they're in a game here. The score is 66 for 5. We're in the 12th over.
Yeah, it's as you said. I mean, this is the crucial part of a T20. You know, from teams can often get away to a flyer in the first 6. You know, and then more often than not, you know, the bowling side pulls it back between the 6 and 10 overs, and you know, you pick up a couple of wickets. And this period now, if the Irish fielders can maybe get a bit more aggressive in the ring, stop the easy singles, especially for the new batter, put a bit of pressure on Alex Blackwell. You know, we could see a full shot from Elise Perry. You know, if Blackwell's not rotating the strike or scoring the boundaries, Perry might get frustrated and play a loose shot, which would be welcomed by the Irish team.
Blackwell just taking guard from umpire Kevin Gallagher.
He must be warm out there today
I'll tell you,
with that beard as well,
I'll
eh?
tell you, between the black clothing and the that rather long, I won't say scruffy looking beard because he might give out to me, but it is, Kevin. Just push down the ground there. Push down to Kim Garth, who really had a splendid opening spell here today. Louise McCarthy bowling from the Sandymount Road end. You would have played a lot of cricket with Louise's brother, Kevin.
Yeah, Barry, over as you alluded to, he's over in Durham and he's on the cusp of the Irish national team, so he's a very, very good all-rounder. You know, following in his father's footsteps of being a raw, quick bowler. But you know, Barry's a very good talent, and he's a great athlete, and he's a hard trainer. So hopefully, the luck will come to him in the next couple of years, and we can see him pulling on the green jersey in the national team.
I hope so. And Kevin has mentioned his dad, the legendary Steve McCarthy,
nicknamed the Bus, I believe.
Yes, indeed. The king of the Yorkers.
Well, that's where
love to bowl a good Yorker.
That's where Louise obviously got the skill.
Yeah, Steve was a great cricketer, very keen cricketer, playing his cricket as did his son, and indeed Louise does, out of the Pembroke Cricket Club, just around the corner from here. McCarthy coming in to bowl. She's right arm over the wicket, approaching the stumps. She bowls. It's a good length. It's just pushed down the ground. Just the single. Shauna Kavanagh, a really gun fielder for Ireland. She's got a really good arm. Good all-round cricketer. Shauna also plays her cricket out of Pembroke Cricket Club. We're with Kevin O'Brien. It's a beautiful sunny summer's evening here in Dublin. Australia playing Ireland. Australia winning the toss, electing to bat, and are currently 70 for 5. We're in the 13th over. Really good start this on the part of Ireland. They'll be buoyed up by it. I think, as Kevin mentioned earlier on, the key here is perhaps the Perry wicket. No doubt Ireland would love to get that scalp. McCarthy in, bowls. Good lines. It's a good single.
It's better fielding there from Isabel Joyce. You know, attacked the ball in the ring and got a quick throw away. And thought had a hit, it would have been a close decision there for Kevin Gallagher to make. But unfortunately, Isabel couldn't hit the stumps. But as we spoke about the key wicket of Perry, I think Alex Backwell is also a dangerous batter as well. You know, I think she got 42 against Ireland earlier on in the year for Berkshire, I think, in the ECB T20. So Ireland have seen her before and know what she's capable of. So she's obviously a key wicket, and you know, if we can get one of these batters now in the next 2 or 3 overs, it's going to set the Irish team up nicely.
Certainly one of the things that's very evident when you watch this Australian side, and having seen them in the Ashes series against England, they do bat deep. Yeah,
and they all hit the ball. Very, very cleanly. And you've seen that today. You know, a couple of lovely cover drives from Meg Lanning, and you know, Elise Perry's come out now and hitting the ball very, very well and hitting it hard and straight. So it's
change of. I think that was an opportunity. I'm not sure whether it bounced just before O'Reilly and it just creeps over the line for 4.
Yeah, so one of those kind of, is it a catch, not a catch, you know?
Yeah.
You kind of go for it and drop short, and it just, as it bounced, it spun past Lucy O'Reilly there and went for 4. So a little bit disappointing, but that's what happens in these T20 games.
Yeah, absolutely. Change of bowling this time. It's Isabel Joyce from the Wes Earl end. Bit of activity behind the bowler's arm. Joyce comes in, left armour. Nicely played by Perry, who certainly looked very good this evening. Very good arm there. Shona Kavanagh straight into Mary Waldron, who I have to say I thought kept exceptionally well. There was no buys the other evening.
Yeah, I think she's an exceptional keeper, and again, you know, getting a good catch off Kim Garth earlier on tonight, as well fielded by Isabel. So I think it's, you know, she's improved a lot, I think, in the last couple of years. She spent last winter down in New Zealand. I think she was in Auckland playing cricket, so overseas cricket has obviously helped her game a lot, and coming back here and, you know, adding that experience to the national team.
Bit of a fumble there by Louise. Little unlucky, the ball just took a kick at the last minute. Australia moving on to 77 for the loss of 5. We're in the 14th over. Joyce approaches the wicket. Lewis gathering the ball. Agree with your thoughts earlier on, Kevin. I'd like to see our ring fielders just a little tighter, just to see if we could cut out that single.
Especially to new batter. Fair enough, dropping a little bit deeper for Perry, who's on 20 and batting very well. But you know, to Blackwell maybe come in a couple of yards. I think that would have been out.
Yeah,
would have hit.
That was a superb bit of work on the part of the captain. That really would have been interesting had that hit. And so that completes the 14th over. You know, the one thing that struck me the other evening, Kevin, is how quickly the girls get through their overs. It's terrific.
Yeah, I think, well, each team is under a time constraint in T20. I think it's 80 minutes per innings. I think there's a hefty fine, not monetary value, but I think it's, you know, it might be a game suspension. I think if you're delayed, first time you might get a warning, second time is a match ban. So I think T20 was made to be done and dusted in 3 hours.
Yeah.
And, you know,
that's the way it's got to be.
The way it is, yeah.
O'Reilly coming back onto bowl now, bowled brilliantly on Wednesday evening, bowled exceptionally well here this evening, got a wicket, first ball of her spell, starts off with a dot, that'll fill her full of confidence. Great young talent, Lucy O'Reilly, playing out of the YMCA club,
It's great to see someone so young having such a responsibility in a team. I think she seems to be the go-to girl with the ball. If Isabel's under pressure with the bowling options, I think she can just throw the ball to Lucy O'Reilly, and the captain knows what she's going to get. So it's a great responsibility to have at such a young age. So hopefully she can grow in stature with that.
And it's one she seems to revel in, Kevin. She loves it. I mean, she wants the ball. She wants to be involved in the game. She's full of bounce.
No fear, I think.
Absolutely,
these younger players these days, they've nothing to fear anymore.
Terrific. In she comes, bowls. Good work on the part of Waldron. Really good start, this 3 dots exerting pressure. She'll be delighted with this, as will her captain. Great chirpiness on the part of the Irish fielders.
I think Perry might need to just rotate the strike now. Take a single, get down to non-striker's end and just gather her thoughts again. 3 dot balls is key in T20, but she's the key wicket.
That's a fuller ball. It's a fine shot. It's gone for 4.
What do I know? She does different.
Yeah.
Clubs that one over mid-wicket. 4 runs. A very, very good shot.
Yeah, smashing shot. Just slightly full of a length, perhaps. Okay, Kevin, give me your prediction at this stage. 82 for 5. We're in the 15th. What are your thoughts?
Let me think about that one.
Okay, O'Reilly to the wicket. It's a good cut shot. It's just the single. Well fielded. Into Waldron. Waldron rolls the ball in her gloves, as lots of keepers do. Throws it back to O'Reilly, who makes her way back to her mark.
I think Ireland will be looking to restrict Australia to below 120. Maybe 110 or 115. I think the Australian batters will be looking to get up to 140. Oh. Again, we saw on Wednesday night, Australia finished very strongly. The last, I think, 2 overs might have went for 20, 25 runs. So they have that in the back of their mind. They can pick up the scoring rate with 3 or 4 overs to go. So, I think they'll be looking for maybe 135, 140. Would probably be probably par total in this wicket.
Yeah,
and of course the Irish bowlers will be looking to restrict around 115, 120. So it's a crucial 5 overs in the game. We saw the momentum change in the first game with the Australians in the last couple of overs, and if Ireland can keep their head now and continue to bowl to their plans, take the half chances, I think we could be in for a right game later on.
I'm sure we will. Joyce continues to bowl. It's a full length and it's cracked away for 4. It's a very good shot on the part of Blackwell, who's looked very good since she came to the wicket.
Just stepping across the stumps there to access the leg side. Again, the wind is going from the hockey pitch over to the apartment, so that's the area they'll look to hit.
Joyce back in. Should just be the one. And is just the one. Good fielding.
Again, Isabel Joyce just bowling slightly straighter there with Blackwell stepping on outside off stump. It might be a tactic for the bowler to bowl slightly slower and a little bit wider of off stump to make her drag it even further.
Approaching the wicket. Perry punches it off the back foot. Out to Shauna Kavanagh. It's just the single. Well fielded Kavanagh. She's fielded exceptionally well here tonight, as she did last Wednesday evening.
That boundary now, the first ball, 6 off 3, so the Australians can just rotate the strike for the next 3 balls.
It's a good shot on the part of Blackwell. It's just the 2. Good fielding on the part of the Irish there.
It's a big over, 8 off 4 balls now. Joyce needs to finish off strongly in the last 2 balls. Maybe get a dot or potentially 2, but Australia will be looking to finish this over strongly.
And she comes to bowl. Hit down the ground to long off. Should be the single just, and that's exactly what it is.
Slight fumble by the fielder, but you can see the Australians are running very hard at every single run.
Yeah.
They're looking to turn those ones into twos.
Yeah,
Maybe mindful that the wicket might not be as good as Wednesday night. Maybe a little bit slower than the first game.
So as Kevin alluded to, it's been a good over for the Australians. 4 overs to go. 93 for the loss of 5 wickets. It's a beautiful summer's evening here in Sandymount. For those of you joining us on the live stream, you're very welcome. I would particularly like to welcome our Australian friends. I know you joined us in great numbers on Wednesday. It's great to have you. I'm sure you're enjoying this, the second of 3 T20 internationals between Ireland and Australia. Change of bowling now from the Sandymount Road end. It's Louise McCarthy. McCarthy, right arm over the wicket, approaches the stumps, bowls to Perry. Perry hits it hard down the ground. Very well fielded, exceptionally well fielded. Kavanagh has had a tremendous game in the field tonight. Turns a 4 into 2. As Kevin mentioned earlier, the Australian ladies just upping the ante here, certainly running the first single very hard, turning the screw on the Irish fielders, looking to turn ones into twos. Crucial stage. We're in over number 17. Louise McCarthy back in the side tonight. She'll be delighted to be playing tonight. Bowls.
That could be 2, I think, if they take on the arm. No, well fielded by Cecilia Joyce.
Yeah.
We've got viewers all over the world. Heatley, a couple in Dubai, I believe.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and
up all hours watching this game.
Yeah, and they were treated to a cracking game on Wednesday, and it looks as though we're going to get a repeat this evening. I'm sure we will. McCarthy strides to the wicket, bowls, fuller length ball, hit down. Kavanagh gathers, delivers a good throw back to the bowler. This has been a good stand by Perry and Blackwell, Kevin. They've just looked the class acts that they are.
Yeah, they consolidated slightly when the 5th wicket fell down for 63, but now they're both in and seeing the ball well. They're looking to capitalise now in the last 3 or 4 overs. So I think now they'll be looking for 140, 145 if they can finish strongly, 11 and over with 4 overs to go.
McCarthy in bowls. Is this a catch? Is it a catch? No. She's just put it down, unfortunately. Did the hard work to get to it. She made good ground to get to it, just under the scoreboard.
Just out there mid-wicket.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. Looked like she was under it comfortably, but just popped out at the last moment. So crucial moment in the game, perhaps. Perry's striking well, moves on to 32 and looking very, very dangerous.
In bowls. Over Lewis's head. Garth gathers the ball, delivers it to Lewis, who throws it in. Good teamwork on the part of the Irish. 2 runs. Certainly the Australians have upped the ante, and that's the 100 runs on the board now. 100 for the loss of 5. We're in the 17th over. McCarthy bowling from the Sandymount Road end. In she comes. Delivers. Chipped into the gap, unfortunately, from an Irish perspective. Just getting away with that.
Good use of the pitching wedge there from Perry.
Yeah.
Just chipping it over the infield for 2s and 1s.
I think it might even have been a sound one there, Kevin.
I think looking at the tactics now from the Irish bowlers, they're looking to go full and straight in these last 3 or 4 overs. That might not be the best tactic, I would think, on this wicket. Having used the same wicket on Wednesday night, it might be a better tactic to go slightly short of a length and bowling on the stumps to try and get the Australian batters hitting against the variable bounce, if there is any there on the wicket. So I think if you're bowling Yorkers, there's less margin for error, and it's easier for the batters to get away. But we'll wait and see what happens these last 3 overs. It's a crucial period in the game, and I think Laura Delaney's back on now, and I imagine Kim Garth will bowl one of the remaining 3, as will Lucy O'Reilly.
Yeah, Delaney in from the Wesserland, bowls. Oh, it's beautifully struck. That's a quality cricket shot. Perry certainly hitting her straps now, and
just missing the length there.
Yeah.
Laura Delaney possibly going for the Yorker. And as we mentioned, if you don't get the Yorker right, it can turn into a half volley, and a batter of Perry's class can hit that anywhere. So it's important time for the Irish bowlers to gather their thoughts and maybe drag the length back slightly and try and hit the top of the stumps.
Here's a chance, perhaps. Here's a chance. That's a really good catch. It's a smashing catch. Well done, Laura Delaney.
Good catch by Kim Garth, looking
think it
straight
was
into
Kim
the sun,
Garth,
which would have been difficult, but held their composure there and took it nicely. And that's a big wicket for the Irish team now. Perry going for 39.
She's having a good game tonight, is our Kim.
Yeah, she bowled very well in the first 3 overs of the power play, and of course she'll probably finish out probably from this end, the Sandymount Road end, and she'll be an important batter come the second innings, chasing down this total.
Really good innings on the part of Elise Perry there, showing what a quality cricketer she is. A super 38 runs. Came in at a tricky enough stage, but did exceptionally well. And the incoming batsman for Australia is Grace Harris. Grace joining Alex Blackwell, who's on strike. Delaney about to bowl the 3rd ball of her over. In she comes, bowls. Dot ball, good ball, 4-wicket dot, not a bad start.
Crucial dot now on Blackwell. If the Irish team can get a couple more dots, and that'll put a lot of pressure on Blackwell coming into the last 2 overs.
Here comes Delaney. She bowls right arm over the wicket. It's a good delivery.
Very well bowled, very well fielded. It's that length. It's not full enough that the batter can hit straight through the line. It's just back of a length bowling straight in the stumps. So as a batter, Blackwell is going to have to take a risk if she wants to score a boundary. And as we saw with Perry, if you don't hit it 100%, you'll find a fielder on the big boundary on the leg side. So I think they've thought about their plans now, Laura Delaney, and she's executing her plans and her skills very well.
Doing exceptionally well. Just speaking to umpire Martin Block. 2 very experienced umpires here this evening, Martin Block and Kevin Gallagher. Delaney comes in, bowls. This has been a terrific over, Kevin.
Yeah,
it's 4 dots in a row now.
Pulled her length back from the first ball when she was a little bit full to Perry and got hit over mid wicket for 4. But since then she's bowled 3 back of a length balls on the stumps, and really telling the batsman, if you want to hit a boundary, you've got to take a chance, and we saw with that the wicket of Perry.
In comes Delaney. It's the final ball of her over. Should just be a single. Well fielded by Gabby Lewis. Very good over there on the part of Laura Delaney. She'll be delighted with that.
Yeah, going for 5 in the 18th over in a T20 game is crucial, especially with the first ball going for 4. To pull it back only one off the next 5 balls was a great finish. So Kim Garth on from the Sandymount Road end, and I'd imagine the plans will be pretty similar, to try and bowl back of a length and hitting middle stump, and force the Australian batters to play across the line and risk the reward of the big bounce on the leg side.
Yeah. Kim Garth, even though she's a young lady, I think Kim is 19, 20 years of age. She's now an absolutely crucial member of this side. A real all-round talent, batted very well the other evening, and has led the attack with great aplomb this evening. She bowls the 19th over. just surveying her field. Wicketkeeper Waldron just adjusting the field. Garth comes in to bowl from the Sandymount Road end. Good start on the part of Garth. All dot balls are absolutely crucial at this stage, and Mary Waldron continuing from where she left off on Wednesday evening.
Looks like the plan might be as Blackwell looks like Blackwell's batting outside off stump from here and very deep in the crease. I think the plan from Kim Garth might be to bowl outside off stump with third man back and square leg up in the ring.
And she comes, bowls. It's just a single down to Delaney. Delaney gathers crisply, throws into Garth. She'll be happy with that. It's a beautiful summer's evening here on Dublin's YMCA Cricket Club. We're in the second last over. It is the second of 3 T20 internationals. Free entry this evening, so for those of you knocking around South Dublin, come on down. We've lots to serve you with, plenty of food, plenty of drink. Garth comes in to bowl. It's a really good cut shot. Should just be the one, is just the one. It's the one thing which has struck me, Kevin, is the ability that the Australian ladies have shown in both cutting and pulling. Really top quality.
Yeah, growing up on the harder wickets in Australia, you know, you'd expect them to be able to cut the ball well and pull it as well. But Blackwell just telling Harris there to run a bit quicker between the wickets. I think she took it lightly.
It's good work on the part of Garth. Exceptionally good work. Good work also on the part of Mary Waldron, now a veteran of this Irish side. Waldron with that face mask of hers.
Yeah, bearing an ice hockey goalie more than a wicketkeeper. But again, good tactics from Kim Garth here, bowling wide of the stumps. Blackwell has to take a chance.
And she comes. Should just be the single, is just the single. Well bowled Garth, well fielded Isabel Joyce. This is a really good spell. It was a very good 18th over. It's been a very good 19th over.
The key is to finish each over out. We saw that on Wednesday. You know, the Irish bowlers, I think, maybe went for 25 in the last 7 or 8 balls. So you can't relax at any stage in T20. The momentum is key, and hopefully the Irish bowlers can keep it now and finish the innings strongly.
We hope so. Garth approaches the wicket. Bowls another very good delivery. Just pushed to Gabby Lewis for a single, and that really is a very fine 19th over. She'll be delighted with that. Terrific spell of bowling on her part tonight.
Yeah,
Kevin.
I'd say got the 3 wickets up front, you know, and I think it was on a hat-trick as well. 3 for 17 off 4 to go with Wednesday's figures of none for 19 off 4. So 2 good games with the ball for Kim Garth, and hopefully now the Irish bowlers can finish it off. It looks like it's going to be Lucy O'Reilly to bowl the last over, and as we said on Wednesday, and we saw on Wednesday, you know, the last over is crucial as the first over. So if Ireland can keep Australia to maybe below 120, you know, they'll have a right chance of chasing this in the second innings.
Absolutely. We were just saying, I was saying to Richard Holdsworth, Performance Director, Cricket Ireland, Kevin, you know, having played the Australians on Wednesday evening, the fear factor is gone from an Irish perspective, you know.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think it was important for the Irish players to I think maybe show themselves, not just the spectators, but show themselves as well that they compete at this level. And you know, they certainly frightened the Australian players on Wednesday night, and they're doing it again today. So I think maybe a little bit more composure with the bat is needed in the second innings, and hopefully the Irish batters can get into a good bit of form and chase this total.
Here comes O'Reilly, the first ball of the final over. It's hit down the ground. It potentially should just be the 2. No, unfortunately. Beats the fielder down there. It goes for a 4.
I think if you look at the last 3 or 4 overs, any ball that's gone to the boundary has been a full length.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen in the over from Kim Garth maybe go for 3, and the previous over from Delaney, the last 5 balls only going for 1. So the length is crucial here from Lucy O'Reilly.
O'Reilly to Harris. Harris sweeps it over mid-wicket. It's another 4 on her part.
A good shot there.
Yeah,
Just
splendid shot.
Just using the pace of O'Reilly and whipping it over square leg for 4, and that brings a change in the field. Third man is up and deep square leg goes out. Probably the field they potentially could have had from the start of the over, but a little field change now can hopefully restrict the Australian batters now in these last 4 balls.
Great improvisation there on the part of Grace Harris, just stepping inside and tickling it fine.
Super shot.
Yeah, it was a super shot.
She must have read Lucy O'Reilly's mind there. Knew she'd go full and straight and just use the pace of the bowler, and no chance for Kira Metcalf at short fine leg. So this is the over, crucial over for Australia. 12 off 3 balls. It's a strong finish.
O'Reilly comes in, bowls at Harris. And there's another 4. Just hit backward of point.
Very good batting. Manipulating the field extremely well. Square leg was up in the ring with third man back. She scoops it over square leg for 4. Third man comes up and then she plays a late cut past in between third man and point. It's hard as a bowler, especially in the end of an innings. You just got to keep your composure here, Lucy O'Reilly, and just continue to look at the bowl straight on the stumps and that back of a length.
In she comes, O'Reilly to Harris. It's hit down the ground. It should just be the 1. It is just the 1. Well fielded. Well bowled, Lucy. As Kevin has said, it's not easy.
Blackwell wanted 2 there, I think, and Harris wasn't interested. But 1 ball left now. Blackwell will be looking to finish with a 4 or 6 to try and get up to Australia up to 135. Probably a total a little bit below par, I would say, on this wicket. But obviously the power play will be key for the Irish batters.
In comes O'Reilly. She bowls right arm over the wicket. Should just be. Now they're going to take 2. They've taken 2. And so that completes the Australian innings. Good final over on their part, taking the total up to, I think, 131 for the loss of 6 wickets. And before we say goodbye and thank Kevin O'Brien for his contribution here this evening, I just want to ask you about next Thursday, Kevin. You're taking on the male counterparts of our visiting friends this evening.
We are indeed. We're playing Australia up in Belfast on Thursday in the Hanley Energy One Day International. So really looking forward to getting up to Belfast on Tuesday. We meet up as a squad on Tuesday, and we have training Tuesday and Wednesday before the game on Thursday. So it's another opportunity for us as a team to really show what we can do. And the Australians have had a bit of a bad time lately over in England in the Ashes, and hopefully we can catch them cold come Thursday. It's going to be a great day, and hopefully we can get a good crowd out to watch us.
It will be a great day. It promises to be a fantastic game, and we wish you and all your teammates the best of luck on Thursday, Kevin. We'll all be rooting for you. Ireland playing Australia in Stormont in Belfast. Tickets still available. Go on to the Cricket Ireland website, purchase your ticket. It's the Hanley Energy sponsored ODI between Ireland and Australia. Promises to be a great game. Kevin O'Brien along with his colleagues. And Kevin, we thank you very much for your contribution this evening. We wish you well next Thursday. And this could be an exciting next hour and a half.
Yeah, it should be very exciting. And thanks a million, Heatley, and we'll speak to you soon.
Pleasure. Thanks, Kev. Cheers. And welcome back to the YMCA Cricket Club here in Sandymount. Sandymount located on the south side of Dublin. For those of you joining us on the live stream, you're very welcome, and can I pay a particular welcome, or as we say in these parts, a Céad Míle Fáilte to our friends from Australia. We're delighted to have you with us in such numbers tonight. You join us on the second of 3 T20 internationals between Ireland and Australia. Australia won the toss and they elected to bat, and in doing so scored 132 runs. When we played the Australians with my Irish hat on the other evening, we restricted them to 140 runs, and we came very close, so hopefully this will be another very exciting game. I'm now delighted to be joined in the commentary box by a former coach of the Irish ladies team, a former Irish international, Leinster Lightning player, and indeed captain of the home side here in YMCA, Albert van der Merwe. Albert, you're exceptionally welcome.
Heatley, thank you very much. Looking forward to the stint.
Great. No doubt you saw the game on Wednesday evening and were impressed by it.
Absolutely. I thought the Irish women's side gave a great account of themselves in the field, and for a large part of that chase they were very much in it. A couple of key wickets just pegged them back, but nevertheless it was a great outing and a great atmosphere all around Claremont Road.
Certainly was. Opening the bowling now for Australia is Renee Farrell. She opens from the Wessex end, and the opening bat for Ireland is Claire Shillington. Farrell comes in. Shillington plays and misses straight through to the keeper. Good first delivery on the part of Farrell. They're certainly a very strong bowling unit, Albie.
Absolutely. They've showed it over the summer in England, and they showed it certainly here on Wednesday night. The Irish top order couldn't quite get going, and I think very much is going to hinge on this first 6 overs tonight.
Yeah. In comes Farrell, right arm over the wicket, bowls to Shillington. That's a really good shot on the part of Claire Shillington. Flicked off her legs, just the single. That'll get Shillington off the mark, and she'll be happy with that. Ireland now move on to 1 without loss. Shillington's opening partner this evening is the Irish captain, Isabel Joyce, a veteran of the Irish ladies game. In comes Farrell. Big stride, bowls. That took an unusual bounce.
It did, right on the edge of the block there. It's a little bit bumpy.
I think that's our water hole just there, Albie. I think that's where Dale.
That could be the one where the hoses.
I think that's
when it's not raining, being brought out.
So in comes Farrell. Good delivery right up in the block hole. Joyce just pushes it out for no single. Good start this on the part of the Australians. As Albert said, they proved a very competent bowling and fielding unit on Wednesday evening. This is the second of 3 T20 internationals between the world champions Australia and Ireland. Really good shot there on the part of Isabel Joyce, steering it down the ground beautifully. Lovely 4 runs. That'll fill her full of confidence, and Ireland move on to 5 without loss. Good start by Ireland. This is such a crucial partnership, Albie.
Absolutely, and Isabel's experience is vital in this opening partnership. She's been off with a lengthy layout injury-wise, and she'll be very keen to get things going at the top of the order tonight.
Albie, you're very familiar with this ground yourself. You're the captain of the home team here, YMCA. Anything you'd like to tell our viewers about the ground?
It's the ground in the last 5 years has come on leaps and bounds, and being the home ground for Irish women's cricket is a testimony to that. For the people not knowing the ground, from the Wessex end where the first over was bowled from, people would call it slightly down the hill, where the ball probably not always gets up as much as from the Claremont Road end. But nonetheless, even bounce, and it showed on Wednesday night. It was a great contest between bat and ball.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Elise Perry. She is a class act. One of the finest quick bowlers in the women's game. She bowled beautifully here on Wednesday evening. Batted exceptionally well. Quality athlete. In she strides. Right arm over the wicket. Big final stride. Well played by Shillington. Just pushed out into the covers. Good fielding on the part of the Australians. Back to keeper Healy. Keeper Healy. Now there's a name that we're all familiar with.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be anything other than a keeper with that last name.
Absolutely. One of the all-time greats.
Like we said earlier, this opening partnership is going to be key. I think that was one of the things that we probably lacked, is that opening 6 overs on Wednesday evening.
Perry coming in. Bowls to Shillington. Shillington trying to drive it into the covers, doesn't make contact. The ball goes straight through to Healy. The ball comes back via point through the covers to mid-off, and Perry with that famous, I call it nose paint.
Well, growing up, for me, that was the Alan Donald wall paint.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I was just watching a program on him last night. He was some warrior, Alan Donald. Oh, that's a beautiful shot for no run. Shillington will be disappointed she didn't quite pierce the fielders there. Struck it beautifully.
And that's probably Claire's strength as well. Anything through the offside, she's very severe on. And she'll be a little bit disappointed not getting that one through the inner ring.
Perry speaking with her captain, Meg Lanning, the great Meg Lanning. Perry comes into bowl. She bowls. Shillington looking to get after her. Not able to on that occasion. Joined in the commentary box by Albert van der Merwe. Delighted to have Albert with us. Again, he very familiar with the ground here this evening. Captain of Dublin YMCA. And Claire Shillington also plays her cricket here, Albert.
Absolutely, and has a huge influence on the women's team here, and she's obviously joined by another playing members and one squad member from YMCA. Yeah.
Perry bowls. It's a good shot on the part of Shillington. It's just the single.
Good game management there from the Aussies. Last couple of balls of the over, Shillington couldn't pierce the field quite early on in the over, and 5th ball of the over, fielder goes back and just concedes the one, trying to get out of the over.
Crucial ball this. Perry strides to the wicket. Joyce on strike. Joyce just pushing it to mid-wicket. No single taken. And that is the end of the second over. Umpire Gallagher gives back the cap to Perry, who makes her way into the outfield. Ireland now 6 without loss after 2 overs. This really is a crucial stage, the first couple of overs. It's a spell that Ireland will be looking to score heavily in. And so Shillington is on strike. Farrell is the bowler. In she comes. Bowls. Shillington looking to work it through the offside.
Claire very aware of this first kind of 6 power play overs. Maybe the last few balls, maybe just trying to overhit slightly and not really making great contact.
I suppose, Albie, there is a degree of patience, and patience and T20 don't necessarily go hand in hand. But that's a good shot there by Claire. Beautiful shot. It should run away. No, it doesn't. It's good fielding on the part of the Australians. Excellent fielding. Just the 2 runs. Potential buzzers, but no. Good backing up on the part of the Australians. Shillington will be delighted with that.
Much better that from Clare. Kind of waited on the ball a lot longer and just used the pace of the ball and punch it through backward point.
Here comes Farrell. Another lovely action. Shillington just getting forward. Hitting it on the onside. No single. For those of you who are just joining us on our live stream, you're exceptionally welcome. We're delighted to have you. It's a beautiful summer's evening here in Dublin. We're in YMCA Cricket Club for the second of 3 T20 internationals. This promises to be a cracking game. Australia winning the toss here today. Their captain Meg Lanning called correctly, won the toss and decided to bat and scored 132 runs. Ireland in reply are 8 without loss. We're in the 3rd over. Farrell bowls to Shillington, who unfortunately just hits it down the throat of mid-off, and she'll be disappointed with that, Albert.
Absolutely. She was kind of bogged down there for the last few balls. Farrell decided to go really full. First one Shillington had a look at and unfortunately hit it straight to mid-off.
No doubt she'll be disappointed. And so as Shillington departs, the score is 8 for 1. The incoming batsman for Ireland is the Irish captain, Isabel Joyce. I beg your pardon, it's Cecilia Joyce. My apologies. Cecilia, I thought, batted beautifully here on Wednesday evening. She came in at a relatively tricky stage. She anchored the innings beautifully. No doubt she'll be trying to replicate that again this evening.
Absolutely. She came in a tricky situation, as you said. She came in, soaked up a bit of the pressure, played some glorious shots, and unfortunately got stumped, and it kind of was the wrong time. And the innings kind of never really got going after that.
And so Cecilia Joyce takes her guard from umpire Martin Block. Farrell comes, right arm over the wicket, bowls. A prod from Joyce out to point, no run taken. And that concludes the 3rd over. Good over on the part of the Australians. Exceptionally good over, they'll be happy with that. The Irish total moves on to 8 for the loss of 1 wicket. The war-painted Perry continuing to bowl now from the Sandymount Road end. Quality bowler Perry, quality cricketer, one of the finest in the ladies' game. Makes her way to the wicket. Comes, delivers. Nicely played, just pushed into the covers for no run. The ball delivered back to Healy, who takes it comfortably and cleanly. And the ball does its usual lap as it makes its way back to Perry. Ireland 8 for 1. They'll be looking to push on at this stage now, Albie.
They haven't been given many loose deliveries. It's a case where they're going to have to manufacture and look for the singles, rotating of the strike, and try and just build a partnership and give them a platform for the second part of their chase.
Yeah. Mind you, the 2 Irish batters out there are present. They kind of know each other's game, I think. Sure, they played a bit of back garden cricket in their day. Nicely played, just pushed out to point. No single. Good start this. 3 dots, as Albert has said. They've bowled very few loose deliveries, tying up the Irish batters. Good line, good length. Perry back to her mark. Superb athlete. She attacks the wicket, delivers the ball. It's a full length ball, and that is a really good shot. Now that will give Isabel great confidence. Beautifully played, Albert.
Absolutely. Leg stump high volley. Isabel tucked it away. Lovely shot through backward square leg, and that will give her great confidence. Perry's bowled a very good first 1.5 over here, and she'll be looking to close this out.
2 deliveries to come in this, the 4th over. Perry with a big stride. Right arm over the wicket. No ball.
That could just be the ball that gives Ireland a little bit of momentum here with a free hit coming up.
One of the great sights in the modern day game. The free hit twirl, as I call it. Umpire Gallagher gives it a twirl.
Absolutely. Happy hour, as many of the guys call it around the circuit.
Exactly. Umpire Gallagher must be warm this evening. The man in black and with that big bushy beard of his. In comes Perry. It's a free ball. Joyce deciding what to do with it. Gets an edge just for one. Down to third man. Excellent throw. Straight back to the keeper. Lanning takes the ball. Inspects the ball. Delivers the ball. Final delivery in the 4th over from the Sandymount Road end. Perry to Joyce. Joyce C. And that concludes the 4th over. Our PA announcer, the very well-known Fergus Carroll from the Clontarf Cricket Club. I hear his dulcet tones over the PA. Well done to you, Fergus. Should also take this opportunity to congratulate the scorers. Such an integral part of our game. The scorers this evening: Judy Cohen from the Railway Union Cricket Club, just round the corner, and Helen Caird from the Phoenix Cricket Club, both vastly experienced scorers.
It's been an excellent start by Australia. You can see the discipline and the skill set they possess. Only 14 runs coming the first 4 overs.
And a change of bowling now from the Wesar end. It's Sarah Coit. Sarah bowls. And it's beaten the fielder, and that should go for 4 runs. It does go for 4 runs. Good start to the over from an Irish perspective. Sarah Coit just bowling perhaps a little bit short of a length there, and Isabel squeezing it away. Good start to the over for Isabel. In comes Coit. Right arm over the wicket. It's another good shot, another excellent shot on the part of Isabel Joyce. Will she take a third? Yes, she does. She's going to have to scamper. Oh, that would have been interesting. Overthrows here. And 4 runs. So the home crowd here absolutely delighted with that.
Absolutely.
Oh, how they love a buzzer.
Absolutely. Again, a little bit of width from Coit. Isabel late cutting in between the backward point and a short third man, and result 4 runs being run.
Yeah, good start to the over, Albert. 8 off 2. In comes Coit. Short run up. Beautifully tucked round the corner from Isabel. It's just the single. Ireland putting their foot on the accelerator in this, the 5th over.
So important in modern day cricket, and especially T20 cricket, to get a boundary in the first or second ball of the over and put the pressure back on the bowler.
Yeah, the T20 game, it's so much about exerting pressure. Whether you're batting or whether you're bowling, Momentum and pressure, two key words in this format of the game. In comes Coit. She bowls to Cecilia Joyce. Cecilia trying to push a single, doesn't do so. Keeper Healy keeping exceptionally well here tonight, as you would expect. Ireland moving on to 23 for 1. No single. She thought about it. Wisdom took over, and good over on the part of the Irish ladies there, Albert.
Absolutely. 9 runs off. Takes a little bit of pressure off. Gets Isabel going. But I thought Coit coming back. Last 3 balls really full, really straight. Not conceding any runs. And that's the discipline these Australian women possesses in this game.
Elise Perry continuing now from the Sandymount Road end. Wonderful bowler, wonderful athlete, big stride. She approaches the wicket. Bowls. Irish captain Isabel Joyce just strokes the ball back to her. Good battle this between Isabel Joyce and Elise Perry. They both know each other. They've played against each other before, be familiar with each other's games. Perry certainly must be one of the, if not the quickest bowler in the ladies' game, Albert.
Yeah, she'll be right up there. Catherine Brunt from England, certainly no slouch either. And Australia looks like they're going to rely a lot on her, and especially the power play overs, and then maybe keeping her one at the death overs. She's a very good exponent of getting the ball full and straight and into that block hole.
Mm. Looks like particularly calm lady. Calm when she's at the wicket. Calm when she's bowling. She approaches the wicket. Delivers the ball. Bit of a shout. Potentially trouble here. No, she makes her ground. Well done. A scampered single. A half shout there, but I think the timber came to the rescue. No signal from umpire Gallagher. Joined this evening by Martin Block. 2 vastly experienced umpires. The men in black tonight. Perry comes in. Bowls to Joyce. Joyce pushes it. Trouble had she hit. And she's out. The bails have, yes. That is something I don't think I've seen before, where just one bail came off. And that was certainly unlucky, because she was certainly getting into her stride there. Wonderful bit of fielding on the part of the Australians, Albert.
Great fielding. 1 stump to aim at, nearly 1 bail to aim at, and clip the bail, and Cecilia is gone, and Ireland are 24 for 2.
Cecilia Joyce run out, and the incoming bat is Laura Delaney. Laura, part of a very famous cricketing family in Irish circles, the Delaney family, known to all the length and breadth of the island, on the island of Ireland. Great cricketing pedigree. Laura, a very fine all-rounder, bowled very well this evening. She approaches the wicket now, and she joins her skipper, Isabel Joyce. Perry to Joyce, just stops her run-up. In she comes now. Lovely run-up, lovely big delivery stride to Joyce, who just pushes it to mid-off. No single. That really was a superb bit of fielding on the part of the Australians, Albie.
Yeah, Blackwell swooped, and like we said, 1 stump to aim at and hit, and then you've come to expect nothing less from these goals.
Absolutely. Joyce Trying to work it through the offside. Doesn't do so, and that completes the 5th over. It completes the 6th over. My apologies. For those of you joining us on the live stream tonight, can I bid you a very warm welcome. It's great to have you in such numbers tonight. It's a glorious sunny summer's evening in Dublin. We're in the YMCA Cricket Club. You're all exceptionally welcome, and I'd like to pay a particular welcome to our Australian friends who are with us tonight. I know you're with us in vast numbers. No doubt you're enjoying the cricket. Meg Lanning won the toss and elected to bat. They scored 132 runs, and in reply, Ireland are now 24 for the loss of 2.
Coit continuing from the Wesel end, and again very full, very straight, like she finished off her last over.
Delaney has just faced the one delivery. Coit to the wicket. It's a wide delivery. Umpire Martin Block exercises those arms of his. Faces the scorers. It's 1 to the total. Laura Delaney waiting to get off strike. Coit to the wicket. Bowls. It's a full length delivery. Delaney tries to drive it. Doesn't quite succeed. No run. A really crucial stage in this game now, Albie.
I think she got away with one there on the offside.
I think so.
Absolutely a crucial stage. Losing a wicket just at the end of the power play there kind of halted the little bit of momentum they started building up. This is going to be a really important 4 overs coming. That's a fine tickle down a fine leg.
Smashing little tickle. Yep. That'll fill Laura full of confidence now. That gets her off the mark with the 4. She'll be delighted with that. And it moves the Irish total on to 28 runs for the loss of just 2 wickets. We are in the 7th over. Coit bowling. Bowls full. She got away with that. That was an opportunity for Delaney, really. A full toss.
Coit's employing this tactic of going really full and really straight. That one was slightly outside off. Laura would be very, very disappointed not getting that one through the covers, and now the sweeper goes back onto the cover boundary.
In she comes. She bowls. It's no single, just hit to point. And so that concludes the 7th over. 7 overs gone. The total is now 29 runs. Ireland having lost 2 wickets. Both Shillington and Cecilia Joyce. New bowler now from the Sandymount Road end, Grace Harris. Grace Harris did a really fine job. She came in late in the innings and did a splendid job, particularly in the final over, Albie.
Absolutely. 19 runs of 7 balls kind of just shifted the momentum to Australia.
A fumble on the part of Villani there. Villani, another one of the absolute top quality cricketers that Australia have in their side tonight. Harris bowling her off breaks. Oh, paper stops play. Well done, Big Kev, into the pocket. Best place for the paper. Don't like any paper floating around our ground. Harris bowls, tickled round the corner. Nicely played by Delaney. It's just the 1. Could there be overthrows? No. Good work on the part of the Australians. Delaney going up to have a word with her captain. Isabel Joyce facing Harris. Harris off 3 or 4 yards, comes in, bowls. No single. Employing the tactic that Albie spoke of earlier, that full length delivery.
Harris quite tall, extracts a lot of bounce as well, and she's definitely bowling from the right end of this ground. Again, the ball kind of hip height high, spinning towards the leg side, and not getting anything on it to beat the fine leg, the 45 fielder there.
Yeah. Harris, a very destructive batsman. We're in trouble here. No, it's a poor throw, and Ireland scamper through for the single. Just tickling it round to 45 there. Delaney on strike. In comes Harris, bowling her off breaks. Delaney thought about going down the track and quickly retreated. You know, one of the things that has impressed me about this series so far, Albie, is how quickly the ladies have got through the overs. It's been fantastic.
Absolutely. I think that's an important part of cricket these days, where once the overs finish, people get around, get the game flowing. It's sometimes hard as a player, as a captain, when guys meander along the outfield and not getting to positions, and you're having to make up time. You want to be moving quick, and gives you time to think and between balls and plan between balls. No different to golfers. You know, you had Jack Nicklaus walking quick, but taking his time over the ball.
Quick game is a good game. Change of bowling from the Wes Earl end. It's Jess Jonathan, another very fine cricketer, bowling to Isabel Joyce. Isabel Joyce looking to get after her there, not succeeding. Just pushing it down the wicket. No run. Left arm spinner Jonathan. Hit nicely to mid-wicket there, but no run. Good start this from Jonathan. In she comes. Bowls. Again, no run. Just exerting pressure on Isabel Joyce. 3 dot balls in a row now. Joyce will be anxious to... And she gets a single.
No different to the seam bowlers. The 2 spin bowlers has come in and bowled fairly straight. The field is set very straight. Just bowling on dot ball, on dot ball, on dot ball, and creating pressure. Something has to happen.
Delaney going down the wicket, thinking about taking a single. She thinks, but rethinks. No single. Jonathan bowling a very tidy over here. It is the 9th over. Ireland 33 for the loss of 2 wickets. Just hit out to point. Single off the last ball of the over.
Crucial part of the game now, where the bowlers are settled in. The 2 Irish batsmen has got to come up and produce something different, where they can't just keep going, getting 2-3 singles and over. They're going to get further behind the 8 ball if this is going to be the case for the next 3-4 overs. They got to be looking to maybe score boundaries early on the over and try and put the pressure back on the bowler.
Yeah, I think that's a must. Harris continuing from the Sandymount Road end. She bowls. It's just pushed down the ground. Meg Lanning swoops. Quality fielder, quality cricketer. Captain of Australia. In comes Harris. She bowls. No single. Australia exerting constant pressure at this stage of the game. We're in the 10th over. Ireland will be looking to accelerate.
But what a great experience for the Irish women to play the World Champions. They're going to have a busy winter ahead, looking at their qualifiers at the end of November. This will all stand them when they get to the qualifiers.
Absolutely. Nicely played by Joyce, just working the ball down to long on there, really. It's just a single. Ireland will be anxious to hit a boundary now at some stage shortly. Harris comes in, she bowls right arm, well fielded. Exceptionally well fielded by Alex Blackwell. Quality fielder, that lady. She's already been responsible for the run out of Cecilia Joyce. As Albie said, she just had the one stump to aim at and bang! Delaney pushes it down the ground for a single.
Good captaincy there from Lanning. Last ball, the over went for 2, or the first 5 balls went for 2, making sure the over doesn't concede any more than 3. She put the fielder back on the long off boundary. Bowler responds and the ball goes straight to long off, and Australia get out of that over with only conceding 3.
Yeah, we're now halfway through the Irish innings. Ireland on 37 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. Laura Delaney on strike. Laura looking at the field, she's set. No single. Jess Jonathan, quality bowler. Left arm spinner. Just the single.
Intent showed by Delaney there, coming down the track, still finding the fielder.
Yeah.
Pressure still mounting on Ireland.
Ireland very shortly, Albie, are going to have to exert their own pressure on the Australians now. It's a quick single. It's a well taken single. Another good part of fielding on the part of the Australians. Joyce sweeping it round to 45, bringing Delaney back on strike. Jonathan to Delaney. Oh, how unlucky is that? How unlucky is that?
It's not the 2 Joyce's day with runouts, and unlucky, some would say great piece of fielding, but Isabel's innings of 24 comes to a very, very unlucky end. Ball hit back to the bowler, deflected onto the stumps, and Isabel short of her ground.
Yeah, I think some would say perhaps the unluckiest way that one can get out. Batted exceptionally well. The Irish captain, Isabel Joyce, makes her way off the field of play. And the incoming batsman for Ireland is Ireland's wicketkeeper, Mary Waldron. Shirt number 81. Mary Waldron has captained Ireland on a number of occasions. Vastly experienced cricketer. Tremendous wicketkeeper. Kept very well last Wednesday and this evening. This is the second of 3 T20 internationals between Ireland and Australia. It's been played in the YMCA Cricket Club on Dublin's south side. Great to have so many viewers. You're all very welcome. Hope you're enjoying the cricket. Could be an enthralling finish to this game. Delaney on strike. Thought about going down the wicket. Retreated. Jonathan, wily bowler, cute bowler, Left arm spinner, in she comes. Bowling to Delaney. Delaney trying to work it for a single. No single taken. Good over on the part of the Australians. Ireland really need to start to look to up the ante at this stage now.
Mary Waldron has joined Laura Delaney there. Spent the last Irish winter in Tasmania playing club cricket and plying a trade there. Massive experience for her, learning a lot and bringing that back into her game. And obviously some of the other girls obviously rubbed off on that.
Change of bowling now from the Sandymount Road end. It's Erin Osborne. With a name like Erin, she's got a little bit of Irish blood in her. We'll find that out afterwards. Osborne, right arm over the wicket, bowls her first delivery. Ooh.
Definitely had a bit of turn there,
Certainly
bit of bounce.
Turn there. Poor running on the part of the Irish there. There had to be 2 runs there, Albie. An easy 2.
Definitely, whether Waldron was partially obstructed by the wicketkeeper or the other batsman, but there's got to definitely be communication. That should have been 2.
Erin Osborne, right arm off spin bowler. Lanning controlling her troops here beautifully, acutely aware of what's happening. Osborne comes in, bowls perhaps a little bit short. Waldron looking for 2, doesn't get 2, it's just the single. Good fielding. It's been a hallmark of this Australian side, Albie.
Absolutely. The bowling and the fielding as a unit has been brilliant. It's been about nearly 4.5, 5 overs since the last boundary. Pressure just mounting and mounting all the time. Another great piece of fielding there. But Waldron is safe.
Wicketkeeper Healy removing one of the stumps. Bringing in umpire Martin Block to play. Putting the stumps in, putting the bails on, asking if everything is as it should be. It is, and he goes back to square leg. Osborne, in she comes, bowls. No single. It's noticeable, Albie, the line that the Australian bowlers have bowled this evening.
They've been very straight, very full, and fields are set accordingly to that.
Just tied up the Irish batsman.
Again, great bounce and turn.
Yeah.
Second game they've played on this wicket. And bowling from the Sandymount Road end, you normally get a little bit of bounce, but definitely signs of turn out there.
And if there's one man who'd know about a little bit of turn and a little bit of bounce, it's my co-commentator, Albert van der Merwe. Delighted to have him. Former coach to the Irish ladies, former Irish international himself, vastly experienced cricketer, playing his cricket here with YMCA. Very familiar with the conditions, with the wickets. Delaney on strike. Delaney looks to take a single, thinks about it, thinks again, no run. Jono, as she's known to her teammates, has bowled exceptionally well here tonight. Left arm spinner, in she comes. Delaney looking to work her down the ground, not doing so, using her feet well, mind you. Real intent on the part of Delaney. It's just the one. Ireland at this stage got to be looking for boundaries, Albie.
Yeah, and the 3 Australian spinners is not looking like they're going to allow that. They've been exceptional from the start. A good mix, tall right arm off spinner, left arm around, and then even the shorter off spinner getting some very good bounce and turn from the Sandyman Road end.
Jess Jonathan, quality bowler, being made weight. Waldron on strike. Waldron looks. And that is the end of Mary Waldron. Big shout on the part of Jonathan. Waldron back on her stumps, I'm afraid, there, Albie.
That one just looked like it slid on with the arm slightly, not a big amount of turn there. And bowling from the Wesel end, it normally keeps a little bit lower. Waldron trying to hit that one too square.
Yeah. The incoming batsman for Ireland as Mary Waldron departs is shirt number 66. This is Gabby Lewis, the orange-booted Gabby Lewis. Thought Gabby batted beautifully the other evening, Albie.
Absolutely. 15 years old, took the attack to the Aussies, hit some glorious cover drives, straight drives, and she didn't look one bit out of place for someone that's only coming to the side over the last 12 months.
She's certainly a very confident young lady, also very competent. She's really made this has been her breakthrough season, Albie. She plays her cricket here in YMCA, another one of the girls who does so, knows the place exceptionally well. And have to say I'm absolutely delighted to admit she's my goddaughter.
There you go. Nothing partial about that at all.
So come on, goddaughter.
It's going to be an interesting test for her.
Yeah.
Spin bowlers getting it really full, really straight. That's Gabby's strength, is hitting full or hitting straight down the ground and hitting hard down the ground.
Nicely played. Getting Lewis off the mark with a single. Maintaining the strike. Coming up to a crucial stage in the game now. Ireland 4 wickets down, having amassed 45 runs, 13 overs gone. The Australians looking to continue to exert pressure. Aaron Osborne continuing to bowl. Has bowled exceptionally well so far, thus far. Lewis taking guard from umpire Kevin Gallagher. Does the customary scratch with her foot. Looking around, surveying the field. In comes Osborne. Right arm over, off spinner. She bowls. Single off the first ball of the over.
Lewis strong down the ground. She'll be looking to push back the mid-off and mid-on fairly early on the over.
Yeah. It is her strength. Osborne comes in, bowls.
Was beautifully bowled. Saw coming maybe slightly early and just bowled a little bit slower.
Osborne, wily bowler, good bowler. Delaney, unfortunately, chips it to mid-wicket there, and that is the end of Laura Delaney.
Laura will be disappointed there again, not quite getting to the pitch of the ball and softly chipping it to mid-wicket. And they don't come any easier than that.
Yeah. Caught by Grace Harris, who's had a really good game here tonight. Bowled by Aaron Osborne. Delaney departs and makes way for Shauna Kavanagh. Shauna playing her cricket out of Pembroke Cricket Club. daughter of the great Charlie Kavanagh, very fine wicketkeeper in his day. No doubt Shauna's mum and dad's tummy is in knots at this stage. I think all parents go through absolute torture as they see their loved ones make their way to the centre.
And how great for some of the parents to be able to see their children play on home soil against the world champs.
Absolutely. Absolutely, how right you are. Great occasion. Shauna Kavanagh joins Gabby Lewis. Gabby Lewis on 2. Shauna Kavanagh yet to get off the mark. Erin Osborne, the bowler, bowling from the Sandymount Road end. Right arm over the wicket. In she comes. She bowls. Kavanagh thought about going down the wicket. Decided not to and just hits it to short mid-wicket there. Bowler bowls.
Very important with the spinners on, having your cover and your mid-wicket as two of your best fielders. Anticipating, cutting down the angles, and generally good fielders. Getting throws in off the deck, anticipating to their left or right, and saves spinners runs in bundles.
So it's 14 overs gone here. Ireland 46 for the loss of 5 wickets. If Ireland are going to chase down the remaining 86 runs that are required, they're going to have to start to exert some real pressure from now on. Gabby Lewis on strike. Didn't quite get hold of it. It's just the single.
Lewis missing out on that, slightly short, bit of a bottom edge down to deep backward square, gets off the mark, but she'll look to be aggressive.
As will Shauna Kavanagh. 2 very important batters from an Irish perspective. Shauna looking to cut it. Does so, but not for any runs. Ball returned to Healy. Back to Lanning. Meg Lanning, the captain of this excellent Australian side, the world champions playing in Dublin. This is the second of 3 T20 internationals between Ireland and Australia. Australia just coming out on top in the first game. Ireland looking for revenge here. And the cause won't be helped with Shauna Kavanagh losing her leg stump. Smart bowling.
Absolutely, not getting to the pitch of the ball at all. Throwing her hands through it, nowhere near it, losing the leg stump, and Ireland now in deep trouble.
So as Shauna Kavanagh departs, she makes way for Kim Garth. Kim Garth, one of the stars with the ball for the Irish this evening, bowled exceptionally well, I think, with figures of 3 for 17 from her 4 overs. Bowled beautifully, batted very well on Wednesday. She's going to have to hit her straps immediately, though, if Ireland are going to chase down these remaining runs. 85 required. We're in the 15th over.
Very difficult situation for Kim to come in. Excellent spell of bowling, as you correctly said, Heatley. She's a fine all-rounder. Took a great catch down under deep mid-wicket boundary, coming in, looking into the sun. But she's going to have to do something extraordinary here to drag Ireland back into this match.
Taking guard, facing our first ball. Garth on strike. Jonathan has bowled a really tight spell here this evening. Left arm spinner, Jonathan to Garth. Garth gets off the strike with a single.
And again, the Australians hit the stumps. That's 3-4 times now in this innings they've hit the stumps, and
They are just quality fielders, Albie. Quality athletes, really.
absolutely.
The way they swoop, gather and throw all in one movement. Stumps have been thrown down on a number of occasions.
Was down on the ground on Thursday and saw some of the fielding practice, and it's no surprise that they do that. The amount of and the volume of training they do on those kind of skills, and then executing them at game time.
They've certainly executed par excellence this evening. They really have been superb. Osborne continuing to bowl here this evening from the Sandymount Road end. Osborne bowling to Garth. Kim Garth on strike, looking up, pushing a single just backward of point, bringing Gabby Lewis on strike. Lewis is going to have to look to go after the bowling if Ireland are going to try and chase down this Australian total. Lewis pulls the ball out to the mid-wicket boundary. It's just the one. She'll be looking for more.
Interesting to see there before the ball. They've moved the deep mid-wicket a lot straighter. Long on win out, or mid on win out to long on. They've obviously done their homework. Watching the footage from the previous game, and again they hit the stumps. Extraordinary.
It's fantastic to watch, Albie. It really is. They've treated us to an exhibition of ground fielding second to none and throwing. As Albie said earlier, that must be the 5th time they've thrown the stumps down. Martin Block having a busy evening here tonight. Busy evening putting the stumps back in their respective holes. Osborne comes in, right arm over the wicket. She bowls to Garth, hits it down the ground. That could go, it may go, no it won't. Lanning, it's just the two. Lanning fielding exceptionally well here.
And a no ball. It's a free hit for Ireland.
Oh.
It's criminal at best bowling no balls, but for spinners of a few yards to not have your foot behind the line.
The big Irish crowd will be willing Kim Garth on. Let's go for it, Kim. Here we go. It's a free hit. What will Garth do? She looks, she examines. She looks, unfortunately, there's no run. It's a pity. Not taking advantage of it. Australia getting away with a little bit of blue murder there. It's Osborne, right arm over the wicket. She comes in, she bowls. Garth looking to take a single. She does take a single. Bringing Gabby Lewis on strike. Great crowd down here tonight in Claremont Road. Good to see such a fantastic crowd appreciating the cricket that's been on view tonight. Lewis on strike. Lewis out.
Return catch to
Just a
Osborne.
return catch, yeah.
Just held it back slightly.
Yeah.
Lewis driving too early, and simple as you like. That's what the Australians have done really well today, is just starve the Irish batsmen
Absolutely.
off boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lewis departs. And the incoming batsman is Lucy O'Reilly. Lucy batted very well here the other evening, scored 13 off her 10 deliveries. She's going to have to look to get hold of this Australian bowling immediately now. Ireland under all sorts of pressure here. Ireland 54 for 6. We're in the 16th over. Still another 78 runs required. Lanning will be delighted the way things are going here. As Albie has said, she's been tactically enormously astute here tonight.
Yeah, just starving the batters of boundaries, but also the amount of dot balls they've bowled has created an enormous amount of pressure. And players hate when you say that after a game, you might not have won and, what you've learned out of it. But I think the Irish team could take a lot from this by looking at the way the Australians went about getting into their overs, getting out of their overs, stopping the boundary options, and just completely putting pressure on the batters.
It's Farrell now back into bowl from the Wes Earl end. Garth trying to cut her, but not doing so successfully in terms of scoring runs. It's a fine shot for no run. Farrell to Garth. Garth this time finds the gap. It's just the one, bringing Lucy O'Reilly on to strike.
O'Reilly played a great little cameo in Wednesday night's game. Coming in, she was busy, running hard, hitting the ball in good areas. And there's a great energy about her. Let's see if she can
repeat the exercise.
Absolutely.
Let's go, Lucy. Let's go. Bowler approaches the wicket. Good work on the part of wicketkeeper Healy. Removing the bails. However, O'Reilly was not out. She was it's a short delivery. O'Reilly trying to work it past point, not doing so. Farrell continuing along the lines of all other Australian bowlers. Straight and full this evening, tying up the Irish bats people. Really good work by wicketkeeper Healy. She has been tremendous tonight. She's been busy, she's been buzzy. She's been everything you look for in a wicketkeeper. Farrell to O'Reilly. In she comes, she bowls. O'Reilly looking to glide it down to third man, but not doing so on this occasion. And that's the end of the over. That's the end of the over.
Great preparation this Heatley for the girls going away in November to the qualifiers for the T20. I think it's in Bangkok, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
end of November, and 2 pools of 4, 2 teams qualifying out of that to qualify for the T20 World Cup in India. So it's great preparation for them.
Absolutely. Harris back into the attack. Garth working it out to square leg. It's just the single, and Albie has just mentioned Bangkok. Want to say hello to Paul Ryan. Paul, the MD of Lekka Sports. Mad keen cricket fan. Good evening to you, Paul. Hope you're enjoying the cricket. I know you're viewing. Harris bowling to O'Reilly. In she comes. O'Reilly trying to work it down the ground, but not doing so successfully on this occasion. We're in the 18th over. Ireland 56 for 7. O'Reilly just taking the single. Oh, that would have been close had that hit.
And for once they miss.
They're human.
Right option by O'Reilly. Didn't quite get all of that.
Was the right option. Very much so. Harris stretching before she takes off. In she comes. Garth pulling it out to deep square leg. It's just the single. Boundaries so badly required at this stage of the innings. Ball goes into Healy and back to Harris. It's Harris to O'Reilly. No run. Harris back to her mark. Quickly gets through or over. In she comes, she bowls. O'Reilly under pressure, but does ever so well. Well run. Takes a single. And that completes the over. 18 overs now gone. Just 2 remaining.
Just coming back to that qualifiers, Italy, for the listeners who's not aware of it, at the end of November, the ladies will be going out to Bangkok and playing against the Netherlands, China and Zimbabwe in their pool. And in the other pool they have Bangladesh, Thailand, Scotland and Papua New Guinea. So two teams from that tournament, one per group, will go through to the tournament proper in India.
Well, I suppose having gained the experience of playing the world champions, Albie, that should put them in really good stead. Certainly the Netherlands, China, Zimbabwe.
It's a massive learning curve, and like
huge.
you said,
certainly not of the quality of the Australian side here. Farrell bowling ever so well here. Just looking at the boundary count here, and I suppose this has been the difference between both sides. Ireland have only scored 4 boundaries in their innings. The Australians, on the other hand, scored 17. And that's really been the difference between the two batting sides here tonight. Ireland just haven't been able to clear the boundary rope.
And that's what puts pressure on you as a batter. If you can't get the ball away, you can't get the boundary of the bad balls, and then there wasn't many bad balls to them. And that just dries up the run rate completely.
Another beautiful delivery from Farrell there, getting an extra bit of bounce straight through to wicketkeeper Healy. We're in the 19th over. Farrell, like all the Australian bowlers, has bowled a beautiful line and length here this evening. Bowls a slower ball. Beautiful shot by O'Reilly. Quality shot. And that brings the Dublin crowd to their feet here tonight. They, very knowledgeable cricketing crowd. They know a good cricket shot when they see one. Quality shot there from O'Reilly. She picked the slower ball quickly, swept it out to the mid-wicket boundary. In comes Farrell. She bowls. Good Yorker. Well played by O'Reilly, just not able to get it away.
Yeah, just coming back to the boundary count, like we said early on, before the inning started, the first 6 overs is crucial, and with only 2 fielders outside the inner ring, it's crucial to get boundaries in that first 6 overs to set up a platform for the batters coming in.
Yeah, well, as we make our way into the final over of this, the second of 3 T20 internationals between Ireland and Australia, I've no doubts that Ireland will have learnt a huge amount from this evening's game, and let's hope they can bring it into the final game, which takes place again here in YMCA at 12 midday tomorrow, We hope to see a great crowd down. I'm sure there'll be many, many viewers on the live stream. First ball is a wide ball. We hope you've enjoyed this live stream broadcast here this evening. We've been absolutely delighted to bring it to you. Our numbers have just been absolutely wonderful, so thank you all for viewing, and a particular hello to our Australian friends joining us, watching their ladies' national side here tonight. Harris bowling to O'Reilly. Just hits it out to deep square leg, just for the single. Harris has certainly had a superb game here tonight, Albie.
Quality performance from Grace Harris, just taking the pace off that ball completely, and Dan O'Reilly in the flight, and she manages to get it away to deep back. It's a great shot by Kim Garth.
Shot by Kim Garth. Super shot by Kim Garth.
Using her feet very well, got to the pitch of the ball and punches it over mid-off, and a very late but welcome boundary.
Indeed. Again, we say this has been a huge learning curve for the Irish ladies. They've done ever so well against, you've got to remember, the world champions. I say that again, the world champions. They've been tremendous here tonight with bat, ball, and particularly, as we've said earlier, their ground fielding. Yet again, they throw the stumps down. It's been a pleasure to watch them play.
Yeah, they'll take a lot of heart from that. They'll be bitterly disappointed, and they work really hard. That's another wide. They work really hard, and they set themselves a really high bar. It's great for them to be in competition mode for this week. They'll take a lot from it, and they'll be better for it come the next game.
Absolutely. Lovely shot by O'Reilly there. Just gliding it down backward of point into the sort of gully area. O'Reilly done very well here, as has Kim Garth. Harris approaches the wicket, bowls. Garth punches it through the covers. It's just the single. And that concludes this evening's game. Ireland 76 for the loss of 7 wickets off their 20 overs, coming up 56 runs shy of the Australian total. I'd like to thank my co-commentator, Albert van der Merwe. Albert, thank you very much for joining me here this evening. Hope you've enjoyed the game, and hope
absolutely.
you've enjoyed the commentary experience.
Yeah, had a blast. It's good to sit here on this side and watch the game and enjoy the great weather we've had in Dublin over the last few days.
Yeah, it's been beautiful, and I must pay a hearty congratulations to the head groundsman here. Dale McDonough has produced a splendid wicket, a quality outfield. No doubt he, along with little bit of help from Len Smith earlier in the week, will be delighted with the wicket that they've produced. The Australian players now just making their way off the field of play, led by their captain Meg Lanning. They shake hands. It's been another really good game of cricket. Just the world champions proving exactly why they are the world champions. We thank you very much indeed for your company here today. We're delighted to have brought you this live podcast. Ireland just coming up short. The Irish coaches, Aaron Hamilton and Rob O'Connor, just making their way onto the field of play and shaking hands with the umpires, umpire Kevin Gallagher and Martin Block. We thank you all for watching this evening. We hope you've enjoyed the live podcast. We look forward to your company tomorrow at midday when Ireland will play the final the third of 3 T20 internationals. Again, it's free entry, and we look forward to a tremendous crowd coming down to watch the Irish ladies against their Australian counterparts. It's been a pleasure bringing the game to you tonight. We look forward to your company tomorrow, and thank you for viewing. Good night, God bless, see you tomorrow. We're live here in YMCA Cricket Club, and I'm delighted to be joined by the Irish coach, Aaron Hamilton. Tough look, but it's been a really good series thus far.
Yeah, it has so far. I think our girls have learned a lot over the last couple of days. We bowled really well this morning, first innings, and then they struggled a little bit with the bat. So we'll see how we go next time.
Yeah, I suppose you talk about what it is you've learnt, and I've no doubt you look forward to sort of exercising those learning thoughts into tomorrow's game.
Yeah, I think the girls struggled to score. If we can push them ones around a bit more, and they tend to get bogged down a little bit too much. So hopefully they'll come out with a bit more positive intent like they did in game one, and really hit the ball hard and get through. So see how we go.
No doubt that this has been a huge learning exercise for the Irish ladies. I mean, you have a qualifier later on this year in Bangkok, and having the opportunity to play the World Champions must stand you in good stead.
Oh yeah, it's a great preparation for us playing the World Champions. You can't get much better, and especially the sun's out in Ireland, so everyone's got to be smiling about that, haven't they?
They sure do. Aaron, we thank you very much for joining us this evening. We wish you the best of luck tomorrow, and we thank you for all the entertainment that you and the ladies have provided over the last couple of days.
No worries. Thanks for your time.
Cheers. Just give me a countdown, please. We're here in YMCA Cricket Club, and I'm delighted to be joined by the victorious Australian coach. Well done, coach.
Yeah, thanks. I think it was hard work at the start there. I think Ireland bowled extremely well in the first 10 to 12 overs and really put us under the pump. It was good that the girls responded well, and we got some little partnerships there going. And obviously that flourish from Grace Harris at the end, I think, was probably the difference, really. It put us out to a good score, and the wicket did deteriorate a little bit in the afternoon and made it harder to bat on.
Yeah. This is the second of a 3-match series. What have you learnt so far from your experience in Ireland?
Look, it was very different conditions yesterday. We turned up and the ground was quite wet, and one of the run-ups was quite wet at one end, but I think both teams wanted to play and got out there and got on with it. But today was a very different story. I think it was the wicket's certainly been prepared for a while, and it's got quite dusty, so I think our spinners really exploited the conditions well, and that's probably something we'll look to do tomorrow if we're playing on the same wicket. So whoever bats first, I think, has probably got a bit of an advantage, try and get a score on the board, and then it's important that you finish off in the second innings.
Absolutely. And you have a little bit of Irish experience. You were involved in helping the Irish guys in the recent World Cup down in New Zealand.
Yeah, I had a wonderful time. We actually had a pre-tour out to New Zealand and played in Canberra and built up with the team there, and then they went away and we all got back together for the World Cup. Amazing experience. I thought the team played really well throughout the World Cup, and probably unlucky not to go through to the next stage. Actually, we won as many games as Pakistan, obviously, but we suffered from a couple of blowout games which hurt us on the net run rate. But all in all, I think it was a great experience. Certainly the batting unit was, which should be around for a little while, looks really strong, and it's interesting that the bowlers dominated recently over here. But there's good times ahead. Hopefully a bit of Test cricket for Ireland as well in the not too distant future.
Well, that's certainly something that, from an Irish cricket perspective, that we all really look forward to. And can I take this opportunity to thank you for bringing the Australian ladies, the world champions, to Dublin. Yep. We've loved having you. It's been a great experience for the Irish girls. As you know, they head off to their qualifiers in Bangkok later this year, and I've no doubt that this series will be of huge benefit to them. We thank you for coming to Ireland. Hope you've enjoyed your stay, and I do hope, though, for an Irish victory tomorrow.
I bet you do, but I mean, there's the makings of a good side there. There's some young players there with a lot of talent, and I think a bit more experience at that level. They're going to be a very strong side, so it's exciting times for Irish cricket.
Great, and thank you again very much for joining us.
Thank you.